Alright, welcome back. So Pic St-Loup, part 2. So why am I drinking this wine? First of all, as I told you guys, I do this, I try to do this from now on because I don't have a script, so a lot of times I'll miss something that I said I would do. So a good friend of mine who I took wine classes with a while ago is from Nîmes, so a town maybe 20 minutes away, like 30 kilometers away from Pic St-Loup. And what he told me is that back where he comes from, the people who know about wine, when they buy wine from Languedoc, which is their area, they go to Pic St-Loup and that's the wine that they buy. It's an area that's got hills, mountains, and you've probably heard the term Coteaux du Languedoc, so that means like on the hillside. So Pic St-Loup has a lot of those, so that gives the wines more character in general. And that's it. So he told me about it, he clued me in. I know I like Languedoc wines because I think they're very good values. I think between $15 and $20 they usually deliver. And so that's why I'm going with this tonight. Also, the food and wine pairing. So I'm having veal shanks tonight. So sort of like ossobuco, but it's not with a tomato-based sauce. It's with an olive-based sauce. So, very similar to ossobuco, different sauce. Had I had the classic ossobuco with tomato sauce, I would have probably went with a wine that's got good acidity. So maybe a wine from the Piedmont region, from a Nebbiolo-based wine varietal. So maybe a Barolo, Barbaresco, or those can get pretty expensive. So tend to look for the ones that say Langue on them, L-A-N-G-H-E. Those are based in, sometimes Nebbiolo, there's other grapes there, but you look for a Nebbiolo wine that's got usually very good acidity, but they're very dry. So that's one thing. Now, that's not the case now. I'm having it with, olives and so on. So I thought a Syrah-based wine. So Syrah, when it's in the southern France, so not in the northern Rhone, but more to the south in France, you usually get a lot of olive notes from the Syrah. So I thought this wine might do that for us because it's got mainly Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvèdre. I think Syrah is the predominant on this one. I don't remember exactly. $18 at the SAQ. His big brother, which is called, this one is Bergerie de l'Ortus. The big brother is called Domaine de l'Ortus, is $33. So I might do a little face-off in the future. So we're going to do this one now and probably do the other one next week because I've heard specifically about the other one. This one I picked, specifically this one. I wanted a Pic St-Loup, but this one specifically because there's not that many at the SAQ. I think there's only 4 or 5 of them, and this one was available at a branch of the SAQ close to me. So that's why we picked that. So yeah, basically I gave you my food pairing, what I'm eating tonight, and that's it. So let's smell it up. Getting some red fruit, mostly a raspberry and cherries, which pretty fresh, on the fresh side, not on the cooked gummy side, but more on the fresh side. A little bit of horsey, so sort of like you're having a picnic with your girlfriend in southern France, and there's the fields over there with the farmers and their animals. And you're having sort of dessert and just fresh fruit, some of that, as I said, cherries and raspberries and so on. So you're getting a little bit of the funkiness from the animals over there, but you're getting the fresh fruit and everything, and you feel the sun, Which, by the way, that's why I'm dressed like this. It's a nice day today. It's nice and warm. We changed the time, so summer's coming. Summer's coming, baby. Sorry, I almost choked there. Happens sometimes when I try to gargle the wine. I swallow a little bit and then I'm off. So okay, good attack with the fruit, the same fruits I noticed before. A little bit on the acid side, so yeah, so that those cherries that are not fully ripe, when it's the summer and it's right before the good cherry season. So when they're not too sweet, still a little bit sour. So that sour cherry with the raspberry, and raspberries when they're fresh, they're not that sweet. They have some of that sourness. So that's what I get on the attack. A lot of fruit, but not the New World fruit bomb that's like super sweet and super jammy. More of the fresh fruit that's nice and classic. I like it. Now the transition, so the mid palate, I'll call it the transition so it's easy to picture. So, in between the entry fruit that you get and then the finish that you get once you swallow, in between those you have the transition. Transition on this wine is not giving me much. A lot of times I'll get an explosion of something else, and usually with these wines from the Languedoc, I'll get an explosion of spices or olives or something like that. And I'm not getting that on this wine, so that's a little bit of a deception. But, and I'm gonna retaste it before I give you that note, because I almost choked back there, so might be mistaken. I'll be right back. Yeah, nice long finish. So what this wine I just got up a shot of fruit right there, right after I started talking. So what this wine is lacking in transition, it's picking up with a nice long finish, and this is nice. So this is the sort of wine that it's slightly dry, and that's because I swirled it in my mouth for like 10 seconds, because if I just drink it up like this, and yeah, you don't feel the dryness. But a little, yeah, there is a kick of spice a little bit at the end. But yeah, a little. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. So you drink it just like this, you don't get the dryness. But you swirl it in your mouth, you do get a bit of dryness. So the tannins are like, they're not silky smooth, but they're not tight either. They're somewhere in between. So just that, that comfort zone that makes it pleasurable for almost any wine drinker. So yeah, what I was saying is that what it lacks in transition flavors, it's picking up in the length of finish, which is very enjoyable. So I gave you what I'm eating tonight, but now my actual food recommendation is no food. This is the perfect type of red wine that I would have all by itself. It would also, and usually that's the case for me, the red wine that I find could drink all by itself is the type of wine that could pair with almost any food. So this is not too dry that you couldn't have, something a little bit lighter like, like chicken, but it's not super dry that, you absolutely need a steak or something that's a juicy steak, because, basically, just a little parenthesis here, if you want to have super dry wine like a young Bordeaux or something like that, you need meat, but not just that, you need meat that's bloody. If you like your steak well done, don't go out and buy a 2007 Bordeaux from the left bank to drink with it, because you're going to be appalled by how dry your mouth is. Because the steak will be dry and the wine will be dry, so that doesn't work. This is the good in-between wine. This is the type of wine that I think everybody would enjoy, that pairs with anything. This is the type of wine that I would drink all by itself. Maybe slightly cool, because by itself, if it's too hot, it'll get heavy. But at 13.5 alcohol, this is under control. So that's about it. And yeah, that's it. Would you guys like me, maybe a little topic for discussion, would you guys like me to do this guy's bigger brother at $33 next week so we can compare? And that's it. So, I'm going to sort of recommend this wine. It's good. It's actually pretty good. I was a little bit on the deception side for the transition, but the finish is nice and long. So all in all, good wine. Try it out, or try out another Pic St-Loup, whichever, and let me know about it. So that's it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow.